God will only use good things for our good. But we can trust God to even use things that we don't understand for good. There was a girl, and her name was Amy Carmichael, and she was born with brown eyes, and she wanted blue eyes in the worst way. She would pray and ask God to give her blue eyes. And then she would run to the mirror and check, but God never changed her eyes so that they were blue. And Amy Carmichael didn't understand, but we can trust that God can use even things we don't understand for good. And when Amy Carmichael grew up, she actually would dress up and go and try to rescue people. And if she had had blue eyes, she would have been discovered. But because she had brown eyes, because God gave her brown eyes, she was able to hide and to actually rescue people who were hurting. So maybe you have brown eyes, maybe you have blue eyes, maybe you don't care, but there are things that are bad or we might not understand that we can trust God for. Today we're going to learn a song that talks about how sweet it is to be able to trust God with everything. So we're going to learn the hand motions and then we'll sing it all together. So it starts out like this. 'Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take him at his word. Now, 'tis is like an old-fashioned way of saying it is. So it's so sweet. We can smile and be thankful about how good it is to trust in Jesus. So this is like we're holding onto a rope. Maybe you're hanging off a cliff and you might not understand what's going on, but we can hang on to the fact that God will always take care of us. So 'tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take him at his word. So the Bible is true, and we can trust every word of the Bible, and we know that it is true. And that's how God can talk to us. The next part goes, just to rest upon his promise, just to know, thus saith the Lord. And so that talks about how we don't have to worry and stress about things, but we can chill and we can rest in God's promises. And you can look for God's promises. If you're God's child, then you can read the Bible and you can look for promises, the things that God has promised you, and then rest that he is using everything for good. And if you haven't become God's child yet, then you can listen to the Bible lesson and learn how you can do that today. Okay, let's review the first part all together. Ready? 'Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take him at his word, just to rest upon his promise, just to know, thus saith the Lord. Now the second part goes, Jesus, Jesus, how I trust him, how I've proved him o'er and o'er. The next part goes, Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus, oh, for grace to trust him more. Now that part talks about how we can trust Jesus and prove him. So this is like we have that rope and we're hanging from a cliff. Sometimes we prove things. If I was going to prove that I had a cell phone, I would probably call you on it or I would show it to you. We know that God is trustworthy because we've proved him. Maybe we've been in a situation where the only thing we could trust is Jesus. That's like proving that he is faithful for what he's promised. And we can trust him over and over again, that he will always come through and he is trustworthy. Now, let's sing it all together. Trust in Jesus.